how to stop, prevent sleep apnea, and improve your overall quality of sleep throughout the night. I'm going to get into some treatments for sleep apnea here, so stay with me. Before we get into treatments and remedies for sleep apnea, I want to quickly give you some general statistics so you get a better understanding of how important this issue really is. Now, between 50 and 70 million Americans are affected by sleep apnea in the United States, obviously. Men are twice as likely to be affected by sleep apnea, and it's most common in adults that are 45 years of age or older. The leading cause of daytime drowsiness is also sleep apnea. So, if you're just feeling not fully awake and alert throughout the day, it could be due to poor sleeping habits or just a lack of sleep due to sleep apnea. Yale University actually conducted a study that sleep apnea actually doubles the risk of stroke. So you definitely don't want to get a stroke, and it's something you would really easily avoid if you just properly construct your sleep and just put a little bit more focus and attention towards the quality of your sleep. Also, people that are obese are 4 times more likely to have sleep apnea issues. So I'm going to give you some symptoms here of sleep apnea. Wakefulness, obviously, you just can't sleep. Snoring, so you're just making a lot of sounds and noises. Heavy breathing, paused breathing, or just abnormal breathing in general. You will also start to develop night sweats in some cases, or frequent urination. People will get up regularly throughout the night to have to go to the washroom. And finally, headaches, which is really unfortunate if people do have that. And in large part, I think that can be due to tension, stress, and just the lack of sleep in general starts to compound, and then you develop headaches, which is really unfortunate. So now let's get into some treatments for sleep apnea, some remedies for sleep apnea that you can try, and they're all relatively effective. I would recommend trying each individual one and see if you notice improvements over time, gradually, and then integrate more and more as time goes on until you start to see amazing results, until you're sleeping steadily throughout the night. So first of all, you want to improve your diet, reduce sugar, reduce fatty foods, and don't eat within 1 to 2 hours of going to sleep. Now, as I had mentioned in the beginning of this video with the statistics, if you are obese or if you have an unhealthy diet, you're 4 times more likely to have sleep apnea. So you want to at least have some sort of activity level and reduce the amount of sugar, reduce the inflammation, reduce the amount of fat that you're consuming throughout the day, because a healthier diet is going to reduce the risk of sleep apnea. Something else you can try is just moderate exercise. Just have a nice little walk or a couple walks a day, go for a light jog. These things are also going to be beneficial for you in terms of just getting to sleep and having a good sound night's sleep. Something else you can try is yoga or stretching, or like myofascial release, like foam rolling before bed. And I specifically suggest trying it in the neck region, your trapezius, your traps. And the reason being is because up here, all this tends to be like your neck area, tends to be where a lot of people have difficulty with sleeping and sleep apnea, because their head will be shooting forward and they just don't sleep properly. People develop a lot of tension in their neck. And really, it's important to down-regulate these areas of the body before you go to sleep, because when you're down-regulating, you're basically shutting down or telling your central nervous system to chill, relax, and you're loosening up all that tension there and allowing yourself to kind of get into a deep, nice sleep. So release some of the tension. You can do it with stretches, you can do it with mobility and myofascial release. I have some links in the description below of this video if you want to check out some foam rolling routines you can do, some things that are going to open up your neck, your upper thoracic spine, and all sorts of different routines you can try in order to help alleviate some tension before going to bed. So something else you can try that has worked pretty well for me is aromatherapy, and you can do that with essential oils and a diffuser. And you can get specific essential oils that are going to help open up your nasal passages and just really relax you when you're trying to get to bed, and it'll get you into a deep sleep and probably hold you there. So I suggest trying some aromatherapy as well. Something else you can try doing, and it's something I've been doing for several years now, just grab a mouth guard somewhere. When I first got my mouth guard, I did it from like an oral surgeon, something I paid like $400 or $500. Don't do that. Just go to the store or go on eBay. I'll include some links in the description below and get yourself a nice little mouth guard, because that can actually help with your sleep apnea as well. Just make sure you form it to your mouth appropriately so that it doesn't feel uncomfortable. It feels very natural while you're sleeping, but often this can actually help quite a bit, and you just pop it in before you go to bed. and you're good to go. Nice and easy, and it's going to help your sleep apnea. It's going to help with the snoring in a lot of cases. And the reason I wear this one in particular is because sometimes I'll clench a little bit while I'm sleeping, I'll grind a little bit. So in order to just have good, healthy jaw, teeth, I recommend trying using a mouth guard. So finally, you might want to try adjusting your sleeping positions. And again, check the links in the description below because I made a video specifically on optimal sleeping positions, how to sleep, and I suggest you trying those out because if you are not sleeping in a proper position, you're really not going to improve your sleep apnea situation. It in large part comes down to your positioning. So check out the video in the description below and watch that fully so that you get some general idea of the best, most optimal sleeping positions to avoid sleep apnea. So finally, my last suggestion is that you remove all technological devices from the room, and you can even consider turning off your mobile devices entirely. And this is to reduce the amount of signals that are flying through the air while you sleep at night. There's not too many studies revolving around this, but it's just something that there's no harm in implementing that approach as well. Just turn off your devices. There's no need for you to have them on while you're sleeping unless you're expecting a really important urgent call. Just turn everything off. That way when you wake up in the morning, you can turn it all back on and you know for sure you had a good sound night's sleep without interference and signals floating through the air. So that's all I wanted to share with you today. I hope these tips help you. I hope you have a better understanding of sleep apnea, what sleep apnea is, and how you can treat it with natural remedies that I've suggested here. And if it works for you, please comment down below and let me know. Hit this video with a like, a thumbs up, share it with a friend if you think it's going to help them, add it to your favorites, and I will catch you again in the next one. Take care.